I'm not happy. I woke up this morning and this is what my scale said. I've basically gone from 75.6 kilograms to 80 kilograms in 4 months. So I've basically put on 1 kilogram a month for the last 4 months. That is not good, is it, Mia? No, not good. So I thought to myself, can you just wake up one morning and be like, okay, I'm going to lose 3 kilograms in the next 30 days, and then you just go ahead and do it? I literally had that thought this morning, and I thought, why not document the process while I do lose that 3 kilograms? And even better, I'm going to title this video, I quit sugar for 30 days and lost 3 kilograms. So if I don't lose that 3 kilograms in the next 30 days, that title is going to be inaccurate and misleading, and I'll be lying to the whole world. So no pressure, Mike. So today is day 1, no sugar, eating very healthily, exercising very regularly. I weigh exactly 80.0 kilograms, so in 30 days I will absolutely be weighing less than 77 kilograms. I can guarantee you that. I really hope this works out. I'm cutting out sugar because I have a relatively healthy lifestyle. I don't smoke, I very rarely drink, I don't do drugs, I eat relatively healthily, I exercise every single day. But I was thinking, what is the one thing that if I do that one thing every single day, it's going to have the biggest positive effect on my life? And I'm already exercising, I'm already eating relatively healthily. The one problem is, I do have a sweet tooth. I do have what I would consider a very mild sugar addiction. I'm still on day 1 of the challenge, and I went to the gym this morning and I had a cappuccino, and I'm going out to eat for my first meal of this whole challenge. I'm going to a Chinese restaurant, and I've really got to be picky about what exactly I choose on the menu. It's got to have no sugar in it. Let's see what happens. I'm also curious to see whether I'll experience any of the other benefits that you can experience from cutting sugar, like having better sleep, having better energy levels throughout the day, and of course losing weight. I will let you know at the end of the video. I also mentioned that I am training for an Ironman 70.3 in exactly 3 months, so I am doing a lot of exercise, about 1.5 hours per day, and that is either running, swimming, cycling, or strength training. But the biggest thing, the number 1 goal that I'm aiming for above everything else, lose that 3 kilograms in just 30 days. So I want to define what I mean by I'm cutting out all of the sugar in my diet, because I think it's almost impossible to cut out every single trace of sugar. But I'm trying to get it as low as humanly possible. Now, naturally, when you go to a restaurant, pretty much every single meal on that menu will have at least a tiny bit of sugar added. But I'm still going to be pretty damn strict, meaning no protein shake, no sugary dressings on my salad, no fruits. And so for the next 30 days, I'm really trying to be as strict as I possibly can. But it's easy saying that on day 1. Let's see how long this motivation and self-discipline can stay up for on day 7, 14, 21. We will see. Day 5 of no sugar. I've just finished a 1-hour swim in my apartment swimming pool. My exercise is going well. I'm averaging about 1.5 hours of exercise every day on top of a no sugar diet. So the last 5 days I've not had much sugar at all. I had a tiny slip up a few days ago, so I was playing pickleball with some friends and I was handed by my friend a pineapple juice, and I was just in auto mode. Automatically I drank half of it and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so nice. And then I realized, hold on a second, there's so much sugar in this pineapple juice, and I stopped drinking it, but I already drank half of it. So other than that bit of sugar a couple of days ago, I've had very little sugar in my diet. So I'm gonna go up to my apartment in 2 or 3 minutes and I'll show you what an average meal looks like. And honestly, I was expecting some kind of withdrawal symptoms from going from eating really a lot of sugar every day to almost nothing. But so far, touch wood, no withdrawal symptoms. One thing that I have noticed is because I'm eating a lot of salads I don't feel as full for as long periods of time. So I feel like I'm eating more meals, although those meals are a lot less calorie dense, if that makes sense. I actually just got my haircut yesterday, which is kind of nice because just to prove that I'm not cheating, you're going to see my hair just gradually growing throughout the rest of this video. So this is what an average kind of no sugar meal would look like. I've got chicken, steak, some brown rice, spinach, 3 eggs, and I would calculate there's roughly 75 grams of protein in here, I would guess. I mean, I'm not calorie counting, and there's some pesto on the top as well. So not 100% zero sugar, but I mean very, very low sugar.
Ask your team, did you have the dusters? No, we didn't. Good job. So embarrassed.
This came in the post today. It is Impact Whey Protein Unflavored. Yesterday I was calculating how many grams of protein I was getting every day, and I calculated about 130 grams, but I'm aiming for 170 grams. So I'm aiming for 1 gram of protein for every pound body weight, and I'm about 172 pounds, meaning I'm aiming for about 170 grams of protein, which is why I bought this. Because the main aim is to lose 3 kilograms of weight, but I want to keep as much muscle as possible because I don't have that much. My apartment is just full of animals. Anyway, the reason why I bought the Whey Unflavored protein powder is because I have this and I have this. They're both chocolate flavored, but if you go into the ingredients, it says thickening agent, flavors, sweetener, emulsifier. There's just a lot of ingredients that I don't even understand. Oligopolipeptides, sucralose, sunflower lecithin. If I can't pronounce it, then I'm a little bit skeptical. At least with the unflavored protein, it should be a little bit more healthier. The end goal is just to keep my protein intake high, but still keep my sugar intake as low as possible. I also want to show you this because I'm quite proud of this. So I started, I don't know whether you can see that, I started this challenge on the 14th of February. It is now day 5, so the 19th of February, I'm on 78.5 kilograms, meaning in 5 days, I've already lost 1.5 kilograms. Now, sure, some of that may be water weight, but still, the scales are heading in the right direction. At the end of the day, my challenge is to lose 3 kilograms. Will I be able to lose 3 kilograms? Maybe 4 kilograms, maybe 2 kilograms? I don't know, but we're on the right track. I'm quite happy with that. It's coming up to 6 p.m, the sun's coming down, it's getting a bit cooler outside, so I'm heading for a 10k run. I've already done 1 hour at the gym, strength training, and so this 10k run will probably take another hour, so that will be 2 hours of exercise today, as well as eating healthy. So I'm not surprised that I've lost 1.5 kilograms in just 5 days. I'm not going to continue that pace. I mean, if I continued at 1.5 kilograms every 5 days, I would be losing like 9 kilograms in a month, which I don't want to do. I don't think that's healthy at all. So we'll see what happens over the next few days, and maybe I need to eat a little bit more. But the premise of this video was, can you just wake up one morning and decide, I'm going to lose 3 kilograms in the next 30 days, and then go ahead and do it? 5 days in, it's looking like, yes, you probably can. Anyway, enough talking. Let's start running. It's 1 hour later, I'm at about 11 kilometers. I'm feeling quite good, so I'm gonna keep pushing through. The downside to not having any sugar is, normally at this point I'd have an energy gel, but of course energy gels have a lot of sugar in them, so no energy gels for today's run. I'm just gonna keep pushing through. Ended up doing a steady 16k run because I actually had a meeting cancelled tonight, so I thought, okay, I'll run for a little bit longer, which was quite convenient. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this because it is quite dark, but earlier on you probably saw 2 little kittens in my apartment, and interestingly, one of them, if you can see these drains here, one of them was found inside there. It was abandoned by its mother, their brother and sister, and they were both abandoned. I actually have a picture of her when I rescued her here, and it's a bit small, but if the editor can zoom into her face, there you go. And if you look closely, It's the same kitten. And we were lucky because she was only 4 weeks old, and kittens that young can only live for about 24 hours without food until they die. And their mum had abandoned them, so she was so skinny. Fortunately, she's nice and plump and healthy now, and we've already found someone to adopt them both. So a happy ending for both of them. It's also one of the reasons why I'm doing the Ironman 70.3 to raise funds for the charity that I'm working with called Laws for Paws. So Laws for Paws is a 100% volunteer organization located here in Vietnam. Essentially, they rescue, rehabilitate and rehome at-risk dogs and cats, but mainly dogs, who have been abandoned, abused and are in need of medical attention. And one reason why I'm so passionate about working for this charity is because Ollie here, who I often go running with, he is also looking very healthy. However, he didn't always look like this. When he was rescued by Laws for Paws, he was a stray on the street and he had some pretty bad skin infections. And as you can see, there's a bit of scarring here, but other than that, he's very healthy and happy. So if you do want to help out, if you do want to donate, I'll drop a link in the description below. Don't feel pressured to, of course, but if you do, I would be forever grateful. Thank you so much. Post-run meal, same as yesterday. We've got some chicken, steak, eggs, spinach, brown rice, pesto, but this time we've got some meatballs just for a few extra calories because I did burn quite a lot when I went for a run. And later tonight, I'll have some of my new unflavored protein shake. Got something in the post. Been waiting for weeks for these. I only have one pair of running shoes, the Asics Nimbus 25. I've done probably about 500 or 600 kilometers on them. Still a couple of 100 kilometers left in them, but I wanted a second pair of shoes to add to my rotation. So I bought these Nike Zoom Fly 6s because they're carbon plated and should be a little bit faster than my Asics Nimbus, which are focused more on comfort. The reason why I decided to cut sugar is because over the last 2 or 3 months, I've been meaning to lose a bit of weight, but I've been making kind of small decisions. I wasn't really committed to it. I was still eating a lot of junk food and a lot of sugar, but I was exercising and am exercising about on average 1.5 hours a day, which is quite a lot of exercise. However, saying that, when it comes to losing weight, it's about 80% diet, 20% exercise, right? And so I was exercising, but I wasn't really seeing the results on the scales. So then I was like, okay, I really need to sort my diet out, and what's a quantifiable way to eat healthy? Because if I say, oh, I'm going to eat healthily, what does that even mean? Like, it's not quantifiable, it's very vague. Then when I say I'm going to cut out sugar, okay, that's a lot clearer. But over the last 7 or 8 days, it's not just sugar that I've been cutting out, it's 3 things. So I've been cutting out sugar, I've been cutting out fried food, and the third thing is I've been making my portions just very marginally smaller. And so far, if the scales are anything to go by, it's working. Speaking of exercise, I get about 2 exercise sessions in a day. So this morning was the gym for an hour. Now, pickleball for, I would say, 1.5 hours, and then we'll be done. So I mentioned that I was making some small tweaks here and there with my eating to try and lose that little bit of weight, but honestly it just wasn't working. The one thing that I did that really helped, and I would advise anyone else looking to lose weight or just be healthier, I made a commitment that I will considerably change my diet in a quantifiable way, meaning cutting sugar. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I gave myself a quantifiable goal to lose 3 kilograms in 30 days. And I think if you can do those 2 things, you really make a commitment and then give yourself a quantifiable goal. For me, 3 kilograms in 30 days. I feel like that's where you should start. And then if you want to take it to the next level, like what I'm doing is I'm documenting the process. So essentially, you guys are keeping me accountable. I can't just quit and give up. That's partly why I'm making this video, selfishly for myself as well, but hopefully also to inspire at least a few people out there watching this video. Because if I can do it, and I'm only, 7-8 days in, then I'm sure that you can as well. Yesterday was Sunday and I woke up at about 4:15 a.m. to go on a very early morning bike ride for about 3 or 4 hours. I just now need to wash my bike. But this 30-day challenge so far has been one of my favorite, if not my favorite 30-day challenge I've ever done. I feel incredible, not just physically but mentally as well. I feel good physically because I'm losing a lot of fat, my weights are going higher in the gym, so I'm getting stronger. Also, my energy levels throughout the day, before when I was eating a lot of sugar, and I mean a lot of sugar, my energy levels at about 1 p.m, so just after lunch, would just crash. I mean, they would just plummet. At least these days, I would say over the last 5 or 6 days, my energy levels have been completely constant throughout the whole day, and I've not needed to go for a nap. I've not felt tired in the middle of the day. And I've been a bit hesitant to talk about it because I was like, well, maybe just the last few days have been a fluke. Maybe it was just a coincidence that my energy levels were consistent throughout the whole day. And maybe after, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, my energy levels will start fluctuating again like they were a few months ago, or even just before I started this challenge. That's one of the biggest improvements that I've seen over the last week, is definitely my energy levels, and I'm getting so much done throughout the day. Saying that, I need to get back to work, so I'll see you tomorrow probably. When doing a 30-day challenge, I think using habit trackers and tracking your progress is so important. So I'll show you how I track my progress with my habit tracker. So here's my home screen, and you can see in the middle there is my task list, and that is probably the single most important app or single most used app on my phone. And then if I swipe right, I've got my calendar on the top, which is probably my second most used app. And then right below that, it says no sugar for 30 days. You can see there's a green tick from Saturday to Thursday. And if I do miss a day, let's say I eat a banana or I eat some kind of sugar, then there will be a big red cross there for the rest of the week, and I will keep seeing it, I will keep seeing it. So that in of itself is motivation not to have a cheat meal and not to eat sugar, because then I will break the chain. One thing that I was slightly concerned about was during my runs, I would lose energy because I could no longer eat sugar or energy gels, which the energy gels are usually what would keep me going after about 10-15 kilometers. However, I've not felt the need to have energy gels. And what's more is my personal best 5k run was 23 minutes and 45 seconds. And just yesterday I beat it, and now I'm at 21 minutes and 6 seconds, and that's without any energy gels or any sugar really. Just playing back in the camera, what a beautiful day. I'm definitely staying in the shade. I've just passed halfway point, so it's day 18, and here's a quick kind of update / summary of how things are going. So firstly, easier than I thought it would be. Before I started this challenge, and I really mean it when I say this, I believe I had a sugar addiction. So after every meal, I would just need some kind of sugar in any form, whether it be fruit, whether it be chocolate, whether it be orange juice, whatever it was, my body just craved sugar. 2 weeks, I've just gone 2 weeks into the challenge, and the cravings are still there, but nowhere near as strong, and I can somewhat control them now. The most surprising benefit so far has been mental clarity. So I didn't realize how much sugar was affecting my ability to focus until I eliminated it. So tasks that used to require quite a lot of concentration now feel a lot more manageable, and I just feel more productive and switched on. I noticed this mostly in the early afternoon. So usually when I had sugar in my diet just after lunchtime, my energy levels would just crash, and so I'd usually go for a nap. But these days, I just don't need a nap, and I continue working, or I go to the gym, or I just do something else more productive. And that right there has been the biggest surprise so far. Sugar affects your body in ways you don't even realize. It triggers inflammation, it disrupts your hormones, it feeds anxiety, and it creates those vicious energy roller coasters that we've all experienced. But by cutting it out, you're essentially resetting your system. This challenge has been, honestly, easier than I thought it would be, and I never thought that I would say that. I thought this 30-day challenge was going to be the hardest. Now granted, we're not fully through it yet, we're only on day 18, but now the question is, okay, once in 12 days time I complete this 30-day challenge, can I continue a no sugar diet for 365 days? That, I'm thinking, is the next goal, because I'm so impressed with the positive effects of a no sugar diet, or let's say a very low sugar diet, because I'm not at 100% zero sugar. I'm losing a lot of weight, but I'm still getting stronger in the gym. So it's going to be interesting to see how much weight I lose at the end of the 30 days. Genuinely excited for that weigh-in. Today is day 20 of no sugar for 30 days, and I keep saying throughout this video that this challenge has been relatively easy. And if anyone else is doing a no sugar for 30-day challenge, one of the best hacks I think you can do is just emptying all of the sugar in your cupboards and in your fridge. You can see my cupboards here. There's not really anything too unhealthy in there. And then I go over to my fridge first. So I've got a very strange fridge where 50% of the food is actually cat and dog food. But again, there's nothing too unhealthy there. And the only real sugar I have in my apartment is the blueberries and the strawberries, and that's about it. So there's no real temptation in my apartment, which I think is really important in terms of sticking to no sugar for 30 days. Also, I've just read around the 20-day mark, your brain's reward pathways have undergone significant rewiring. So this means food you once found bland, like whole fruits or even vegetables, suddenly taste noticeably sweeter and more satisfying, and I have definitely noticed that. I do feel like foods that I used to find bland now taste a lot better. Today is day 26, and as you can see, I'm at a conference and my company has a booth, and I'm just preparing a presentation about lead generation. So far, everything's going well. I weighed myself this morning, extremely happy with the scales. The problem that I have now is I'm at a 5-day conference, but we've got, as you can see, an all-you-can-eat buffet. I mean, there's no food there yet, but there will be shortly. And it's really difficult being self-disciplined when you have all of this free food, almost limited food, and beautiful food that often has a lot of sugar in it. Anyway, here's the conference stage. I'm very early. As you can see, no one is here yet.
Mentor and group.
I just had lunch at the conference, and it really was like an ultimate test in self-discipline, because there was so much beautiful food, but a lot of it was unhealthy. However, a lot of it was healthy, and I'll tell you what, I'm 26 days in, and I've never been so self-disciplined, because I don't want to waste that last 26 days. Like, I'm not going to crack on day 26. So I was super self-disciplined. I ate relatively quite healthily actually, with very little sugar in my food. So I'm very happy with my progress so far. Another day at the conference. I'm losing my voice from yelling over the last 3 or 4 days, but it's 8 in the morning and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here. In about 2 hours, all of these seats are going to be pretty full. One thing that I did do quite reluctantly over the last 7 or 8 days is my personal trainer was commenting how many cappuccinos I was having every day. It was only about 2 to 3 cappuccinos a day. But I switched my cappuccinos to Americano, so slightly fewer calories, and I think that did help somewhat. So over the last 29 days, the main thing that I changed with my diet is, of course, I cut out almost all sugar. The second thing, I cut out pretty much all fried food. The third thing, I ate very slightly smaller portions, but I mean very slightly. And the fourth thing was I stopped drinking cappuccino about halfway through and switched to Americano. Those are the only four things that I changed over the last 29 days. I know I sound like a broken record here, but I weighed myself this morning, so proud with what the scales said. One of the biggest learnings over the last 29 days is I've not done any exercise in the last 7 days. The first 3 weeks, a lot of exercise. The last 7 days, very little to no exercise. And the reason for that is because I messed my back up a little bit. I pulled a muscle. Not a big deal, I'll be fine in a few days. But I did want to take a rest, and I was a little bit concerned that because I wasn't exercising, is my weight going to start going up? Because I was making sure that my nutrition was absolutely on point every single day, I kept losing weight even though I wasn't exercising. It really kind of shows or highlights how much more important nutrition is versus exercise. Now, I'm not saying don't exercise. Doing both is obviously better, but nutrition is far more important if you want to lose weight. I'll add some images here of what I eat in a very typical day, because if your food is like that every day and then you exercise for about 1.5 hours every day, then it is relatively quote unquote easy to lose quite a lot of weight in 30 days in a relatively sustainable and healthy way. The last day, day 30, so I hopped on the scales this morning, and the hypothesis that I set out on day 1, I'm going to lose 3 kilograms in the next 30 days. The answer is yes. But firstly, if you are interested in starting your own 30-day challenge, whether it is eat no sugar for 30 days, or walk 10,000 steps every day, or run 5k every day, or do yoga for 30 minutes every day, whatever 30-day challenge it is, head over to fitin30challenge.com. We've got an amazing community, we've got a course, we've got accountability manager, we've got habit trackers, every single thing you need, every resource you need to complete your 30-day challenge. So, how much weight did I lose in 30 days? On day 1, I weighed exactly 80 kilograms. On day 30, I weighed exactly 75 kilograms. That's a weight loss of 5 kilograms in 30 days. I feel absolutely amazing. And if you want to watch my other 30-day challenges, you can click here, and I'll see you over there.